Mike. Mike. What's going on, man? One of the baddest DJs, Devin Hype, Papa Trash, Papa Thrash. You know what? I wasn't even trying to go live. I was messing around with something and accidentally went live. But since people came in, what's going on, people? I didn't want nothing. But I do want to say everybody have a good one. Be safe. I continue to be safe. Yeah, I heard, Mike, man. Actually, I saw your post. What's going on, niece? What's up, Trinity? I don't know if you can hear me. But, yeah. We have to catch up, Mike. But I'm glad to see that you're healing up again. Learning how to walk. That's crazy. You gotta let me know what's happening. It's gonna be a minute before you get back into martial arts, huh? Yeah, but actually I'll be going live tomorrow. And I was just messing with my rig setup here. So that's the only reason I accidentally pushed the live button. But tomorrow in the afternoon I will be going live. Yes, sir. T's 1982. My brother Johnny. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, send me the number. I still have my same number, Mike, so hit me up. Hit me up. I'll put you on the spot real quick, Johnny. Uh-oh.
What's up, man? What's up?
What's going on, King?
Man, over here chilling, dog. Just seeing my brother on live, man. You know how excited I get when I see that come across my screen.
Oh, you a fool.
Yes, sir, man. So you gonna go on live tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I was
All right,
messing with my
definitely.
stuff, and
All right.
I hit the button, and then people started joining up, and I was like, whatever. Might as
Yeah.
well say what's up to people. I just want to, sometimes people just want to see you, hear from you,
Oh yeah.
and know that you're
Yeah.
all right. If you're not one of those people that are always in contact with somebody.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's it, Mike. Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely, man.
We're gonna
Yeah,
meet back up.
especially in the time like this, man.
Facts. Facts.
Hey, I'm on season 10 on that Bosch.
You said you
Uh,
mean
I
episode
mean,
10?
not season 10, my season, not season, season 6, episode 10, man, on that Bosch. I caught all the way up, man. I haven't
Told
finished
you.
the last one, but I'm on it right now. I got about 30 something minutes left of it.
Okay. I told you,
So what's
man.
the
It's
top? My bad, go ahead.
no, I was saying I told you that Boss was nice. It was a good show, man.
Yeah, it's nice, dog. It's nice, dog. So what's the
I,
topic tomorrow, man? Are you
I,
keeping a
um,
secret? Top secret.
I might hit you up offline and let you know.
Definitely.
Um, But yeah, it definitely will be topical. So I'm gonna it's gonna be a topic involved, and whoever wants to chime in, um, I love to talk sports with JT.
Ah, nah, man, hey,
I love to talk sports with JT. So if he
that's a whole nother.
if you want
Hey,
to
nah,
tap
man,
in,
I would love to, man. I definitely would love to. But honestly, man, I think I learned too much from you, dog. When I be hearing, what you got, on your platform. Your platform is definitely beautiful. So I'd love to do it with you one day, but I think, you got so much your vital information that's out there and stuff like that that everybody needs to hear. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. You
yeah,
break it down way different and understanding for all the sports fans. You give both spectrums of of everything. You don't just even if you're biased with something, like when we were talking that one time, even if you do agree with one side, you can still understand and balance it out to where you can make it, bring everybody in to try to understand what's going on, depending on whatever the opinion is. But so, I don't know. We're gonna have to do something one day, bro.
yeah, that's usually the hardest part is um, trying not to go wildly off the cuff and just start talking crazy because we all have opinions, and I don't think that any one person's opinion is more valid than another person's opinion. Um,
Yeah.
as long as you can uh,
Say
elaborate,
it.
articulate,
Yeah.
and defend your position, you know, you can have a position, whatever position that you want to have. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
That's
think that
true.
what we do is we get caught up with uh, the the mentality of it's my way or the highway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people get upset when people don't agree with them. And with me, I don't care if you agree with me, um, but I just want you to understand why I have the position that I have on whatever topic that we're discussing.
Right.
That's my main focus is to do it that way. I'm not really
Yeah.
tripping on whether you agree with me or not. As long as you can understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, that's the only thing that I can do. You know what I mean? People
Definitely.
get caught
Definitely,
up.
man.
People get caught up with other stuff, and I'm not. I'm not really about that. I do try to. I read what I do try to do though is um, base my opinion on information that other people can go research.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
if I'm just saying stuff and I'm like some kind of person, I have this secret source,
right.
and you can't substantiate or validate the information or my opinion, then we're just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's like, yeah, man. That's why I like the platform, bro. Definitely like your platform on that because the time we're in now, it's like every year when it comes down to people's opinions, like it becomes more of a. It's okay to have your opinion. It's kind of like what you're saying. It's okay to have your own opinion. Nobody's not trying to say you can't have an opinion, right? But at the same time, it's kind of you know, just trying to understand the opposite side, the other person's opinion on whatever the subject is.
Right.
And especially, you even have people that, and we spoke about this, you have people that will argue with you about an opinion that you actually have facts on. So it will be
Right.
factual stuff, and people will still argue with you. And hey, I think that's the thing about sports too, is that you have to differentiate the fanatics, the people that are solely like they put the people as gods and they don't see no wrong. And, it's just totally super invested and all this. And then you have the other fans that like you and these, Champ Side and people of those platforms that understand more than just the game or the analytics or this or that. You guys got the behind the scenes information or what could have happened. You make people think outside of their own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Giving a
dope.
person an alternative thought or an alternative perspective than the one that they were building their premise off of is I think that those are important things, or important attributes to have when you have a platform and where people are listening to you. Um, because sometimes, a lot of people are straightforward in their thought process, but it's important to even show people who are tuning in that we're not all monolithic in our thinking.
Right.
We can all have diverse perspectives and different ways of uh, coming to the conclusion that we have based off our understanding of the sport or whatever the topic is, even if it's not sports.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's usually a good attribute to have. It's very important to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to tap in.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna tap in probably sometime tomorrow afternoon. I got some things I gotta handle, so hopefully before it gets too late, I'll have some time to go live and I really want to talk about the, of course, everyone's talking about what Devin Haney said, um,
Yeah, I've seen that across some stuff.
but 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 I also want to talk about more importantly um, than what Devin Haney said and uh, the the decision between him and his dad um,
Mhm.
to write the what everyone is calling the apology, where he says he regrets uh, if any of his comments offended anyone that they weren't intended to. Um, even outside of that, I want to talk about how this is a lot bigger than the Haneys. They're just one aspect of it. Sometimes things happen that remind us of who we are, where we are, and why people think the way they think. And I kind of want to touch in on that a little bit. What up, Big L? I kind of want to
What's
touch
up,
in on that a
Hale?
little bit
Yeah.
um, because there's another aspect of it that um, only certain platforms are touching on. You know,
Right, right.
and with that said, there was a response by Paul Magnani, who came out and he made some comments, um, not necessarily about taking a particular side with what Devin Haney was saying, but he made a comment that the and I'm paraphrasing, but he said that the era of the dominance of the quote unquote African American fighter is over, and now that
Mm.
boxing is saturated with Eastern European fighters, they now dominate the sport. And that was an interesting comment because are you basing that off of one or two divisions? Because the sport in general and the sport as a whole, I don't know how you can make that claim um, as a blanket statement. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Being who he is, he's a very responsible journalist. Paulie is somebody who is very much so well respected in boxing.
Yeah, yeah,
His
definitely.
opinion is very much well respected. He understands the history of boxing. He understands uh, the game on a level that a lot of people don't understand it. And for him to have the platform that he has and make the comment that he has, um, I'd like to see him elaborate on that a little bit more
Yeah.
because I don't see why or where that could be validated. A comment like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of it's kind of crazy, and that the reason why I'm pausing is because people nowadays, especially this generation, even though he's an older dude, but in the generation that we're in, a lot of us can get caught up in trolling, right? Not like me or you or anything like that, but you do have people that get caught up. 50 Cent's a big troller, but he's been doing it for years, on the music industry, on in the
He's a
things,
professional,
but. Right, but now the
professional
sports
troller.
as because I remember when we were talking and we seen the fight, the last fight that happened or whatever with Fury and stuff with the costumes, and I asked you, I was like, well, in your chat when you went live, I said when we were talking, but when you went live, and I was like, do you think the costume, like the entertainment and you said, it's entertainment. This is, it needs to happen, which I sat
You
and
kind
thought
of
about it, and I'm like, yeah,
blanked out again. Can you repeat that? Because
yeah. Hold on real quick.
you kind of lagged out. You said it was an irresponsible comment in your opinion, LOO. Yeah, I can see that. I can see, you know, I mean, we were talking a second
You hear
ago.
me?
We were
My bad.
saying that. Oh yeah, you came back in right now. But I'm responding to a comment that LOO made. Yeah, you kind of lagging in and out, bro. Let me know if I'm doing the same thing. But about a second ago was that it's okay to have a different perspective and a different opinion and an alternative viewpoint if you can elaborate on the viewpoint and defend your position. Um, it's very uh, unclear. Excuse me. It was very unclear what Paulie was basing his comment on when he made the statement that uh, boxing is oversaturated with Eastern European talent, and that they're dominating boxing right now. So I would like to know what divisions, and just by a sheer overall numbers perspective, where he's coming from on that. Oh, my bad. Because he can have that opinion. That's fine, but
My bad,
I would
bro.
like him to elaborate on that a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. You're back.
My bad, bro. I'm back now.
Yeah. Okay. You were saying what? I just took the time to respond to the comment.
I was just basically saying like the whole trolling aspect of the Paul comment you were talking about. Like, do you think it's more of a troll? Because I think like what you just said about him. Obviously, he's well. Sorry about the noise in the back. It's the kids. That he's well respected in the sport. He's highly knowledgeable and things like that. And with a person with that caliber, why would he make such a blatant statement like that? Right. So I mean, is he getting something somewhere else? Some information somewhere else? Is he seeing something that we're not seeing? I mean, what is it? Is he trying to stir up controversy? What is
And
it?
and
Right. So
I don't even know. And you're right. You're 100% right. And that's why I say, where's the elaboration on that topic, on that comment? Elaborate. I mean,
right,
it takes certain people to be able to have certain conversations.
right.
Not everybody can have top
Hey,
tier, mature conversations with people.
yeah,
That's why a lot of people don't like talking about um, socio political, spiritual, racial, and in some cases economic
yeah.
situations.
Right,
Some
right.
people don't. Some people are not comfortable with those conversations because um, they don't know how their temperament is going to get if if the conversation escalates to a certain level.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely,
mean?
man. Definitely,
So
definitely.
a lot of people are very uncomfortable with that situation, with those conversations, and um, some of them are uncomfortable with with the conversations because they themselves are not as well versed on on the topic from a historical context as they feel that they need to be in order to have that kind of a conversation on an intellectual level, um, and still keep a certain level of respect in the conversation and have control of your emotions as the conversation escalates. So a lot of people just don't like having a conversation at all. Um, my thing is, and this is actually turning into the live, but my
I
thing
know.
is, right? You know what I'm saying? My thing is
Say
this.
some of that for tomorrow, man. Say some of that for tomorrow, brother.
I hear you, but this rides on my mind. My thing is,
Yeah.
um, I have a question. Is My question is, when is it race and when is it nationality? for people outside looking in. You
That's
understand what
deep
I'm
right
saying?
there. Yeah, that's deep right there.
When is it race
Right.
and when is it nationality for people outside looking in?
Right.
Because if a particular fighter makes a particular comment, in this case, Devin Haney saying that um, he's not gonna get beat by a Caucasian fighter. And I know people want to get stuck on the phrase white boy. Um, I know white guys who I've known for uh, long periods of time, almost
Yeah,
two
same.
decades,
Yeah.
who he and I have had uh, in-depth interaction on this particular topic and other topics surrounding race for years, as long as
Right.
he's known me. Shout out to Drew. But um, and I always appreciate his feedback because he doesn't get caught up in his emotions. That goes back to my me saying how everybody can't have these kind of conversations because they can't control their emotions when the conversation goes in the way that they didn't know was going to go, or they hear information that they didn't um, know about. Um,
Right.
so anyways, but it's very hard for certain people to have these kind of conversations. So
Yeah.
my thing is, like I said, when is it nationality and when is it race, and who are you to
Right.
determine which one is which?
Right.
Who am I to determine which one is which, and how do
Right.
we base that?
Yeah.
You know, I called into Champ side the other night, and I was elaborating on that a little bit, and I was saying how when it comes to like black fighters,
Right.
excuse me, quote unquote black fighters, we may talk about things from a quote unquote black perspective.
Right.
And when people outside of our nationality or our ethnic group hear these things, they interpret it as um, it being a racial component. But what
Mhm.
they don't understand is, from a national perspective, we understand subconsciously that this nation of that's considered the United States of America, doesn't see us as a part of that nation.
Right.
We're just talking about
Yeah.
in generally speaking.
Hmm.
Because, for example, why do I say that?
What's up, Rich? Yeah.
Why do I say
Tap
that? Is
into my
because
brother, Sweet Science Examiner. My bad. But yeah, tap in. Make sure you tap. He's supposed to go live tomorrow, Rich. Make sure you follow him if you ain't following him yet, and tap into his live tomorrow. He's gonna have a good live. My
the
bad, brother.
reason I the reason I say that is because um, we as people, as a people in this country, let's take boxing because we're talking about boxing. Let's use that for an example. When a quote unquote fighter that comes out of the United States, and he's a United States based fighter, right? Um, and let's say he goes through the Olympic trials, and
Hmm.
he's going through the nationals and the Olympic trials. He's doing it under the banner of USA Boxing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Then when he turns pro, he is doing it under the banner of usually the United States nation, right?
Right. Right.
However, when that same fighter goes and fights a fighter from another country,
Right.
many American based boxing fans or fight fans side with the fighter from the other country.
Which is crazy. That's crazy. It always happens that way too.
So as boxers, they understand that.
Mm.
So what they do is they don't associate um, only. I said only. They don't associate only with being a United States boxer or an American boxer. They
Right.
associate with their nationality, which is themselves being black. So what they do is they represent the black people within the
Right.
nation of the United States of America.
That is deep,
And
bro.
that rubs
That's
people the
deep.
wrong way. You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
deep. Yeah.
So that rubs people the wrong way. So for example, if Floyd Mayweather fights, um, if Floyd Mayweather fights,
Like, I know Pacquiao's too
Marcus
easy for
Maidana.
you. Yeah.
Let's say Floyd Mayweather fights Marcus Maidana.
Right,
You
right.
start to see an overwhelming majority of people who were born and raised in the United States of America go for and cheer the opponent.
Yeah.
And Floyd's sitting there talking about, hey, didn't I not represent the country in the Olympics?
Crazy, bro.
How you often hear Floyd say things like, this fighter has an entire country behind him.
Hmm.
We're going to go this direction because this fighter has an entire country behind him.
Right.
He understands I don't have an entire country behind me.
That's sad too, bro.
And it is that, but it's more importantly, it's reality.
No.
It's
Yeah, it
our
definitely is. It
it's
definitely
our
is.
reality.
Right.
And in
Yep.
our reality, what black athletes and black fighters need is other quote unquote black media to be the buffer between themselves and the general public who don't understand our lingo.
Hmm.
They don't understand our perspectives. They hear us talking English words, but it doesn't make sense to them.
And that's where you come in. And that's why it's great. I remember telling you that, having a because we talk a lot offline anyway, but
But 20 years.
people don't know, bro. People don't know, like, the information, just piggybacking off what you said, we need people like you that's going in the forefront of everything you just explained right there, because I truly believe it's two things. People either they love the sport of boxing and they just side with who's popular, and maybe they just hate the guy because everybody else hates the guy. And they are just like, they're not aware of what you just said. And then you have people that are aware of that and they just ride the wave with it, And it is sad, especially when, you broke it down beautifully, bro, because when you look at these other boxers from other countries, you said it and you're right. They have their whole country. Their whole country's behind them. Manny Pacquiao has the whole Philippines. Even that UFC fighter that Mayweather fought. What's his name?
Conor McGregor. But
Yeah.
this is my thing, though. I don't mean to cut your train of thought.
No, go ahead. No, this is
my
your
thing
platform.
is,
Go ahead, bro.
it's not only that Manny Pacquiao has his own country. What people need to understand is that when it's a black boxer, Manny Pacquiao has the country that the black boxer is from as well.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are Filipinos who were born, raised, and only know the United States of America.
Yeah.
And they may not even really be boxing fans, but they know they're Americans. However, when the American fighter fights the Filipino fighter, they side with their people. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's true, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're Americans. They're American citizens like we're American citizens. But they don't associate with being American in that moment. They associate with their people.
Yeah.
From their nationality. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah,
so that's the thing that I feel that people don't understand when they hear a black boxer say the word black and then start talking, or a black athlete or a black entertainer or a politician, or anyone says black X, Y, and Z. They when they hear that, they think of race relations.
Right.
And then so their mind starts to automatically go into race relation issues and race relation topics from a racially based perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is, when is it nationality and when is it race? And who are you to say if you're not from that particular background and you can understand the way that person is trying to elocute what they're saying?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you need those buffers like Black Fight Fan, Champ Side, Barbershop Conversations,
The Sweet
Blue Blood
Science
Sports
Examiner.
TV, Sweet Science Examiner.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
definitely.
The athletes need that. They they
Yeah.
um, they need that because when you go listen to, like, let's say if Juan Manuel Marquez or Canelo Alvarez or somebody has a fight, what do you always notice? Even Vasyl Lomachenko, when they have fights, they have a translator with them so
Yeah.
that they're not misunderstood by the public
Right.
when they speak or answer questions. They
Right.
have that buffer. These guys know English.
Right.
They know English. They understand
Yeah.
it, but they still have a translator so that nothing goes wrong.
Right.
And
Yeah, man.
a lot of times, if you have a person that's with you that, like, let's say if I'm watching a fight with one of my Mexican brothers, right? If I'm watching a fight with a Mexican brother and he understands Spanish fluently, as a matter of
Right.
fact, English would be their English would be their second language, Spanish would be their first language. When they're
Yeah.
watching these interviews, they'll tell me right away, that's not what that fighter said. When the translator says what they say, the
Right.
person that I trust, the
Yeah.
person that I know is telling me,
Right.
Tank, that is not what that fighter just said.
Like you said, he got the buffer.
Mariah
Clean
made
it
you leave.
up.
What's
Yeah.
up, Mariah? Tell my other niece I said hello, Trinity. I love you both. Tell Donovan I said hello too. And your mom and your dad. I'm bad to talk to my
No,
niece.
no,
and
that's all.
Trinity
Yeah,
in
it's
here,
your
and
platform, brother.
Mariah.
I'm just here enjoying the moment
But
with you, man. Just getting
yeah,
all this good game from you.
but you understand what I'm saying though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have those situations where that is up front and prominent.
Mm.
You can't help but
Yeah.
to notice it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if they have a translator for their protection, so that they're not misunderstood and they don't blow the bag by saying
Right.
something off the
Right.
cuff,
Right. Right.
we should have that too.
I
Because
like that. Yeah, I like that.
just like my Mexican brothers with me can say that's not what that fighter said, or that's
Yeah.
not what that fighter meant.
Right.
Black media can say that's not what that fighter is saying. That's not what that fighter meant.
Right. I like that. I like that.
Devin Haney may have said that, but that's not
Right.
what Devin Haney meant.
Got you. That is important for real, man. I like that. I like that
You understand what I'm
analogy.
saying?
You know, that's true, bro. That's really true.
Because we have a different lingo within the American
Yeah.
language.
Yeah, yep, everything, right? I mean, the lingo, the way they walk, like you said, the lingo, the way they talk, the lifestyle, whatever they do, we totally understand it. And then with you and the other platforms that you brought up earlier, it's so vital and important, man. Everything you just broke down is, man, I totally agree and understand it and support that 1,000%, bro. Because nobody's doing it for us, right? And then you do have the commentators like, and I'm gonna say the name like Stephen A. Smith and guys like that. You know, we know they're all backed by either Fox, ESPN, stuff like, stuff of that nature. But they're not raw and uncut and thick like you and all the other guys that have those platforms and clear cut, and that's going to give it to you raw. So yes, man, I definitely understand what you're talking about on that. That's definitely important. Definitely important, man. That's why I was just saying when we usually talk. Even like, what did I tell you? I was like, nowadays YouTube and everything else is like the modern TV, right? Because you can have people give you the raw and uncut, unfiltered version of what you've seen on the news, or they'll break the story before the news break the story. So, like, again, just bringing it back, like you said, we need people that's going to be able to interpret it for our boxes, people like us. So yeah, I agree, brother.
And for other people to understand our perspectives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Make sure you tap in to Sweet Science Examiner. If you ain't following them yet, go follow him, Kenny. He's going to go live tomorrow. There's going to be a dope live. So make sure you go punch his follow button and make sure you watch his live tomorrow, man. My bad, brother. Go ahead.
Well, nah,
sorry about that.
Since you're doing shout outs, what's up, Desire?
Yeah.
My sister out there.
Try to tell them, make sure they tap into your live, man. That last one you had was beautiful, dog. That last one was, whew.
What was I saying though right now?
I was basically just finishing off on what I was
So, but
talking about the platform.
I was saying that, oh, yeah, you were saying about the platform. So what I was saying also, even more importantly than um, having a platform to explain to our own people,
Yeah.
it's more important that we are the buffer to explain to other people who don't understand us. That's
Yeah.
mainly my focus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, Devin Haney may have said this. That's not what he meant.
Yeah.
That way, when the mainstream media gets a hold of it and they run with it, we're the buffer that says, no, 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 no. That's just how black folk talk. That's how we talk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just like on the
Right.
flip end, when, like I said, you have a person that speaks Ukrainian as their first language or Spanish as their first language, they have that buffer to say, that's what they said, but we're gonna elaborate and say what they meant. And that's why
Right.
my brothers or sisters, whoever I have that speaks Spanish that's with me, when they're watching the fights with me, and they tell me that this is in the interview or post fight interview or pre fight interview, when the person is speaking in Spanish, they say, that's not what they said. The translator didn't translate what they said. They said blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think that we should be afforded the exact same buffer for us. Just because we speak in English, don't mean we saying the same thing.
Right. Right.
We're using English words. You know.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Uh,
That's true.
I always make the analogy that if we went to England, right? If we went to England
Right.
and I told some guy in Europe, hey, those shoes are fly. They may tell me my shoes don't have wings.
That's true, though. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
The
man.
shoes are fly. They don't have wings. How can they be? I don't understand. What do you mean fly? So just because we're using the same words and English words, I mean we're talking about the same thing.
Right.
And our lingo is a certain way, and the way we carry ourselves is a certain way that I believe that it's necessary that we have um, our own people in positions of media in place to be able to elaborate on our perspectives.
Right.
Stephen A. Smith and these guys that you name, Shannon Sharps of the world, they cool. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
have, you know, because they're representing us in corporate America in that
Yeah,
kind of a
definitely.
platform to show that we can do it there as well.
Yeah.
But with that said, there's still room and necessity for us to have the platform that we have on this level to where we can talk directly to the people without having to think in the back of our mind that we're going to blow the bag by saying it how we think it as well. You
I
know what
got
I
a
mean? That's
question.
why I like
Uh,
that's why I'm a huge fan of All the Smoke with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, is because
yeah.
they're as close to that as possible that I can think of. But go ahead.
And I'm glad you brought that up. It's like you was reading my mind because that was the next question I had for you was with those two guys. Yeah, you just brought it with All the Smoke. They have their podcast. Obviously, they play in the NBA and they have their own following and stuff, but still they transitioned into a podcast. Thank you, and things like that. So it is a different world for them, obviously. So my question is, knowing how the internet, social media, and things like that, podcasting, and knowing that people don't have to go to college to have a college degree to become on, the Shannon Sharps and the Stephen A. Smith levels, and they can just do it like what you're doing. You know what I mean? Build your podcast. You have your live. You have a lot of things going on in the works. I'm not going to say a lot, but you have a lot of things cooking up. Where do you see that heading in the future? Like with the
To
sports,
the
and
top.
it could be,
To the top.
okay, all right,
I see it heading to the top. I've seen it being being the new normal.
okay,
I think it goes. I think a glimpse of that was when we saw um, earlier in this. I think it was this past NBA season when we started hearing of the quote unquote Rich Paul rule. Remember
yeah,
that? We're
right,
talking about
yeah, I
Rich
remember
Paul.
that,
How
yeah,
they're going to require that if a collegiate athlete takes on representation, that they must have at least a bachelor's degree and whatnot. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it was, or something similar to that. But my thing is, can you do the job?
Right. Right. Right.
Can you do the job, and can you be effective at the job? Which is
Right.
what guys like, again, Stephen A. Smith was bringing out. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm not that's why I don't really attack him and others like him, because they may just have a particular opinion, or they may they may be voicing an opinion of many who they've talked to offline, and then now that they're on their platform, they feel like they have a responsibility to echo the sentiments of people that they just spoke to regarding the same topic, while weaving in that their own perspective.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, to answer your question, I see it going to the top. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a lot of independent, uh, independent,
My life. Sorry.
yeah, I think that you're going to have a lot of independent people who are considered independent journalists, who are going to bring perspectives that people have not heard before, and they're going to be doing it in a way that they can articulate themselves in a way where it's eloquent enough to be on TV, but a little bit too edgy to be on TV. Therefore, it's going to have to be on a social media platform or a podcast platform, because it's going to be a little bit too edgy to be on TV on the FCC airwaves.
That's cool, and that was I don't want to bore you with a question or keep you up or keep you too long
You can't
on
bore me,
this.
man. You can't bore me.
But I'm glad you said that too, because I do see it becoming. Sorry, bro. I'm on live right now. Just hold on. Sorry about that. Basically, you have two platforms, like you said. You have the mainstream media, and then you're going to have the raw and uncut. They're going to have a platform where they can go and have and say and speak how they really feel. At the end of the day, they do have this. They do still have the same fan base, right? So my thing is, by having, I know as a athlete, I believe they're going to invest in both, because it's going to be a perfect balance for them. They're going to be able to still be on the big corporate networks and have the endorsements, be the clean cut guy. Not saying they're not clean cut, but they can only say so much, right, on those corporations. But then they're going to have people like you, your outlets, your platforms, Champside, and all the smoke and stuff like that. And they're going to be able to, you guys are going to be able to really dig out of them the truth that they can't really speak in the words they can say and stuff like that. That you're going to make these athletes feel comfortable, feel at home on your guys' platform, when they really can't do that on the big networks. But with all that being said, they're still going to have the same fan base. Do you think that will affect, like, the fans will look at them a certain way if it did go like teeter-totter that way? Because my opinion is, before you answer my opinion, I don't think so. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because I believe a lot. I'm a fan. I'm a baseball fan, basketball fan. I'm not a lot invested in boxing like you are, but I do watch it. But I sit back and I want to hear the truth out of these athletes, whether if it's on your platform or on the big corporations platform. But do you think it would hurt their fan base?
I don't think it will hurt the fan base, unless the fan base is so dependent on old media and the major media markets to facilitate and guide the way they think about certain things.
Right.
As you know, I often use movie references. Real rap, salute. I often use pop culture references, movie references, book references, song references. And part of my answer to your question would be that scene in The Matrix where Morpheus is walking Neo through the simulation, where they see the lady in the red dress.
Yeah,
and he's explaining to him, he's saying that some people are so dependent on the system, and he was talking about the Matrix, but he was talking about the system in general. Some people are so dependent on that to show them how to think and navigate their way through life, that
Right.
they do anything to protect it.
Mm.
And that's
Mm.
what I see. Kwame Yasharala, salute. Um, some people are like that when it comes to sports. So they're
Yeah.
so reliant on Fox News and ESPN to tell them how to think about a certain situation or topic, that they're going to be fighting for uh, those particular outlets to continue to get the interviews so that they can understand what's going on, to answer your question. So, um,
Cool.
but 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 in essence, you're still going to have the overwhelming majority of people to be like yourself and myself, who want to hear them be as real as possible when they
Yeah.
have to deal with certain topics. So therefore, I rather see them on All the Smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather see them come talk to one of us.
Right.
I'd rather see them talk to the Knuckleheads on the Knucklehead podcast,
Right.
because I know that they're going to feel comfortable enough to um, break down some of the barriers and let the people in where they normally wouldn't let the people in. That's
Right.
what made Lopez Tonight and the greatest night show of all time, the Arsenio Hall show, so big,
Mm.
in my opinion, is because the guests felt comfortable with Arsenio Hall and George Lopez.
Right.
So
Right.
they were
Right.
able to open up. That's what made them great. You know, when they go on some of these other shows, yeah, it's like, you're from a whole nother culture, and that's a whole nother
Yeah.
demographic. So I got to be really careful with how I respond to these things, to whatever you're saying. But when you seen Arsenio Hall, there's like, you can tell a lot of these guests hung out with Arsenio Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saw them on
You can
Lopez
tell like
Tonight.
the
You can
comfortability.
tell a
Yeah.
lot of them hung out with George Lopez.
Right.
And I'm bringing it full circle back to the Devin Haney issue, because to me, some of the fake outrage, I'm not saying there wasn't real outrage involved, but some
Right.
of the,
Right.
I think that the majority of the fake outrage was in due part to the platform that he was on when he said what he said.
There you go.
He's
I
on,
like how
he's
you.
on seven,
Yeah. I like how you broke that down.
he's on
Yep.
78 Sports TV talking to a black audience about his situation from a black perspective, and he got so comfortable that he said what he said, because that's
Right.
how we talk.
Yeah.
You know how I talk when I'm not. Um,
You took the top off?
well, actually, you're very familiar with the way that I talk on different
Yeah. Yeah.
platforms, right?
I know where you're
So
getting to. Yeah.
you see what I'm saying. But I can, however you want it. You want to have this kind of a
Right.
conversation, or do you want to go there?
Daddy.
Right. 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 Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Both. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
And
definitely. I got you.
and we're not. We need to be more respected in that realm, and understanding that there's a lot of us out here. Going back to your question about how new media works, and how I was saying the Rich Paul rule, uh, you're going to see that a lot more respected, where guys, look, we didn't go to journalism school. We don't have
Right.
that etiquette to
Right.
where we know how to mess around and BS people, and um, create narratives, and manufacture news, um, uh, find sound bites and clickbait, as they call it. We didn't do that. We just want to know the answer to our questions. We want to know
But you
what
bring authenticity though, and that's the
That's
thing.
it.
I
That's all
think a
we want.
lot of big corporate, not because you're, but big corporations lack when it comes to those. Not knocking them down, but I think that's what they lack is the authenticity,
But
and
that's
that's what you
because
got. That's what y'all give.
the parameters that are set. So it's like this. They say they want authenticity, but what they do is they put you in this box and say, we need you to be authentic within an inauthentic uh,
Mm, it's hard.
parameter. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't talk how you want to talk. You can't use the language that you want to use. You can't use the subject matter that you want to use. You can't use the references that you want to use. but you need to be real. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's crazy.
They'll tell you, they'll get you on ESPN and they say, tell us the truth. And then you be like, well, this mother, and they be like, oh, not that kind of truth.
Yeah,
Not
right,
that kind of
right.
truth. Dial the
They
truth
want
down a little bit.
they want the WWE the
They want that.
WWE stuff.
They want that. No, no. They want, they, not only do they want the WWE stuff, they want that, how Malcolm X said, they want the cream in the coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
When it comes to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When it comes
nah,
to us, they
definitely.
want that cream in our coffee.
Yeah,
They want to take
that's
that
real.
strength out of it.
Yeah, man.
And it's unfortunate because we have a voice. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We have a voice. We have a
Yeah,
powerful
definitely.
voice. You know, we have such a powerful voice that the world kind of tends to follow us. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to any of these other nationalities. No disrespect for any other ethnicities that are out there, any of the demographics. But
Yeah.
y'all wasn't getting fades when y'all got your hair cut until y'all seen us do it. That's not a Mexican style of haircut.
Yeah.
If you go to Mexico,
Right.
our Mexican brothers over there ain't getting fades like that. See that, or y'all see, you know, our other brothers and sisters from other nationalities and or whatnot, wearing the sports gear and the throwback jerseys and the bar caps and the chains
The
and these
do
kind of things
rags.
like that. Do rags and
Yeah.
they say the N word more than we say the N word when they talk to each other. When y'all
Sheesh.
see that, and y'all know that's going on, don't get mad when one boxer or two boxers or 3 or 10 boxers come out there and fight wearing a sombrero and a poncho.
Yeah. I like that. I like that breakdown. That's true.
You know
That's
what
real.
I'm
That's
saying?
real. That's true,
You're
man.
stealing
That's
our
true.
culture. Excuse me? Why you got them Jordans on?
Right. Right.
I don't
Why
wear
you
Jordans, by the way, but
why are you blinged out, as they
why you
say,
blinged out? That's a nice fade you got there on your head with a nice part. You look sharp.
Hey, that's
You look
funny.
sharp. Where you get that from?
And then they gonna say, "Oh, did it for me." Oh man, dog. Now
But
that's
yeah, you
hey,
know, that's
it's
just me.
you got so many vital points. I want to just tell you, man.
Trendsetters. Facts.
I'm gonna just let you know. I'm
Oh,
gonna
double
let you
O.
know. Like I said before, bro. I'm definitely 100% supporter on your. I know you're. I've been watching. You know, we had this conversation the other day offline, and I just want to tell you, man, you got so much to offer, like genuinely, bro. And I want to just say it on here, whatever's recorded, whoever's in the room. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 100 people in here. I'm gonna just keep it real, though. You have so
Just
much
me
to
and you, bro.
offer.
Just me and you.
Now I know you just have so much to offer, though, bro. And I remember telling you, I was like, like I just can't wait till you get to that point to where it's like, damn, everybody's gonna be able to see what you have, the gift that you got. You know what I mean? The love, the passion, and the things that you have. And I'm not gonna say everything else that you dibble and dabbling in. I'm gonna be quiet, but you have that, bro. You have that fire in you. And I know a lot of us from me, L, we was telling, man, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. And I remember telling you on the phone, I said, when I sat back and I watched what you how you was moving, how you're moving, it's very strategic, it's smart, it's really smart. And you're being careful, which you should be, because the platform that, like, I press shirts, right? And I'm not, it's not a plug or anything, but I can just go out there.
L double O. Text
Yeah.
King Jeezy. Text Jeez real quick. Got to use code names. Text Jeezy. Tell him we on live. I
And
forgot. This was
now you
impromptu
good.
and I just did it. So, but
I can
tell
go out there
Jeez
and just,
we on
oh,
live.
my bad.
But go ahead,
Yeah,
Johnny. You
my
said you
bad.
pressed
Now I
shirts.
can just, yeah, I can just go out there and press, right? But with yours, you're dealing with media, right? You're dealing with what a person said. You're dealing, like, everything you just said. Everything is so soundbite. I'm gonna use soundbite. Everything's so micro managed. Everybody's paying attention to what you do. everybody's paying attention to what you say. So I truly understand why you're moving the way you are. I'm glad to see you, you know, stepping more forward towards your platform. You setting up your platform the way you want it to be set up. I have seen a lot of people respect you from Champ's side when you had the live with him, and everybody just, man, that live was so dope. You have people in his chat room like, man, this brother speaking some truth and this and that and that and this. But man, just keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Yes, sir.
Support you 100%. I love you, Sonny. Say hi.
Hi.
What up, Jordan?
Man, I salute you, bro. Keep going
Right back at
hard
you.
and keep
You
doing
too,
your
bro.
thing, brother.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. But
All
I'm gonna
right.
log off.
So,
I'm gonna get something to eat, man, and I can't wait for the live tomorrow, brother. I'm definitely tapping in.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
All right,
right,
King.
King. Be cool. Peace.
Yes, sir. Later. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here too. I really didn't even mean to go live and have no long discussion, anything like that. Just kind of unfolding and organically happened. So I'm gonna try to log in tomorrow and talk about some things that's been on my mind. So anybody that came through to say what's up, salute, and see y'all tomorrow.